It's that time once again, time for another edition of the Happy Camper Radio Show, the only place to be when you're ready to talk camping. Camping is what we're about. Camping is all we talk about. It's episode 192. And as we get closer to the end of summer, we need to keep in mind that the bugs are still out there. Yes, we're not only talking about ants at the picnic, but also the bugs that can bite. And nobody likes to have them, especially when you're out camping. We're going to be talking about insect prevention today on this edition of Happy Camper Radio. Daniel's in the studio, and we're going to have a great conversation, so stick around for it. It's insect prevention right here on today's edition of Happy Camper Radio.
Happy Camper Radio.
And, of course, the Happy Camper Radio Show can be heard all around the world by great listeners just like yourself. You can find us in the iTunes Store and Podbean, MyroGuide, Stitcher, the BlackBerry Podcast Directory, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, and now on Spotify. Tell all your friends to tune in to Happy Camper Radio today. You can get in touch with us here at the show by calling 404-537-2267. That's 404-537-CAMP. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Camp Talker. Add us to Circles on Google+, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to www.happycamperradio.com, and that's where you'll find all of our social media icons right there on the homepage. And, Daniel, what do we do when folks write into the show or like us on social media?
We give them a shout-out.
There we go, and we got a couple fine folks we want to shout out to today. They both like us on Facebook. First of all, we're saying hello to Wayne Lee Kelly of Wayne, West Virginia. Also to Doel Marr. Both of them like us on Facebook, like I say. And thank you so very much for joining us and being a part of this great Happy Camper Radio family. Would you like to be a guest on the program? Daniel and I would love to have you. If you have something in the world of camping you would like to talk about, anything, doesn't matter. Talk about that last camping trip you were on, maybe one that you have planned down the road. And especially if you're a full-time camper, if you like camping all the time, you never have a place to call home. You just have one campsite to the next. We love those folks, too. Get in touch with me, Skip, S-K-I-P, at happycamperradio.com, and we'll make that happen. Well, Daniel, you know, we're closing in on 200 episodes.
Wow.
Here, yes, and we're going to have to do something special.
Yes, we will.
And we talked about that briefly in our last show. And being the fact that we do have 200 episodes coming up, and back when we first got started, we never envisioned this. We never did. Maybe you did. I don't know. But, I didn't think we're going to be 5-6 years down the road, and here we are.
I remember
200 episodes, yeah.
I remember episode 100. We did a big party for it.
Oh, we did.
So
and
I can't wait.
Here's what I'm thinking about doing. Shane's Rib Shack.
There we go.
Yeah, right up the road here. Maybe we can go ahead and get a nice big platter and buffet or whatever and set it up here. Do you think Betty Crocker might be interested in making some goodies for us on that day?
Definitely. She's all about the cooking.
Yeah, all right. So, we'll have her here, and you bring your better half and everything.
There you go.
And she likes the Booth of Justice, too.
The Booth of Justice
and she
is
likes
her
to climb
spot.
in there. And if you're wondering what the Booth of Justice is, it's a sound booth that's here in the studio, which I typically use for voiceover work. And, but it comes in real handy. Got a nice, expensive microphone in there.
First class.
You can get claustrophobia if you stay in there too long. But I don't say it has an air conditioner, but it has ventilation. It's got real fancy mood lights, something you're into.
Right, to get you in the mood for radio.
I just had to do it up right when I got that.
First class.
Okay, now, we got pictures on our website, too, at happycamperradio.com. You want to see anything that's going on behind the scenes. And also, keep in touch with us on Facebook, because we're going to be getting into YouTube videos very soon. And we've got a lot of work we're still doing down in Studio B. And it's coming together, Daniel.
It is.
Got the new flooring put in the other day.
You do the painting yet?
No, painting's coming up. It's real
I can't
soon.
wait.
Yeah, we got that big gallon of video paint.
Yep.
You couldn't believe what I spent on that. Wow. I didn't think a gallon of paint would cost so much money, but it's going to have some great effects.
It could make us look like we're anywhere.
Yeah,
we could be on the moon.
Very true. But I still have a lot to learn when it comes to editing.
Mm-hmm.
I love the video work. I love setting up. And I love that test video we did. I'm not going to share that with anybody because it was crazy. Yeah.
That was, oh, boy.
But hey, one thing we did find out, though, is we found out we had a need for a much bigger sound stage.
Right.
And that's why I went ahead and, we had a 9-foot backdrop, a chroma key green backdrop, and it just wasn't cutting it, not for the wide angle shots.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm getting together with it. I'm just putting together, and everything's going to work out just like it should.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But anyway, you have a big weekend coming up here.
I do.
And you're going to be leaving town. When is it, on Thursday?
Town as in Snellville to Atlanta.
Right, okay. And you're going to be doing some motel camping, aren't you?
I'm not like Betty Crocker. I can't do the 5-star. I only do 3-star hotels.
Okay.
So I'll be staying in Atlanta for Dragon Con.
Right,
That's my
Dragon Con. Now, this is getting bigger and bigger and bigger every year.
Sometimes a lot of people say it's too big, but I like it. It's fun. You get to see the people, do the things. I love it. I love it so much.
And Daniel, why don't you share with our listeners what Dragon Con is all about? I mean, now you've been into that ever since I've known you.
Right. Basically, it's a comic book convention, but it has a different take. It's pop culture, anything pop culture, from Diner Dash to X-Men to Marvel to Doctor Who, and everything in between is all at Dragon Con, and they have thousands and thousands of hours of tracks. They have a podcasting track that I'm trying to get Skip to go to one day. He can show them all how it's done professionally. They've got tracks on.
Wait, you mean I can show them how it's done professionally?
That's exactly what I said.
Okay.
Nothing but first class. They don't know what first class is, Skip. You got to show them how to do it. But they have costume contests. They have dances. They have parties. They have a dealer room that I don't know how many. I know this is kind of inside, but in Atlanta we have a lot of convention centers, and one of the convention centers is called the America's Mart, and it's a big old building in downtown, and they do a lot of conventions there, and they have 3 floors of that for just the vendors. That's how big this thing is. It's like a normal convention hall, 3 stacked high, just for shopping. And then there's 2 more for gaming, board gaming, Warhammer, stuff like that. And it's just a lot of fun. It's just fun to just hang out. Me and my wife like to refer to it as tailgating for nerds. So
oh, wow.
That's basically what it is.
And you typically leave on a Thursday and you come back like on a Tuesday?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
and one thing I wanted to say, since we're on a camping podcast, there are some people, I think there's about 2 or 3 people every year that they bring their Winnebago and they have solar panels on the top, and that's where they stay. They stay in a parking lot with the solar panels, and that's their room, which is pretty awesome because these hotels are $200-300 a night.
Wow.
So yeah.
And that's the discount rate, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's if you're sharing it for the couple
but
people.
I'm sure there's more than just 2 or 3 people with RVs and campers that are showing up.
Well, I'm just saying 2 or 3 RVs in the parking lots I see around there. I mean, there might be RVs around the area that I don't see that are doing that too, but it's the best way to do it, really. It is the cheapest, most awesome way to do it. And if I had, Winnebago or a travel trailer like that, I would totally do it.
You might have to rent one some year.
There you go.
And just go down there and be around those campers.
Well, I like the Sheridan. It's nice. They have a nice, really cool pool and a hot tub and breakfast and stuff. So I like that too.
I can understand why you would want the hotel experience, and I'm going to forgive you for that. But being right there in the heart of Atlanta and being part of some of the activities that are taking place in your hotel as part of Dragon Con, I can understand why you want to be there.
Yeah, that's all this stuff is in the hotels. There's 5 hotels. It's the Marriott, the Hilton, the Hyatt, the Sheridan, and the Peachtree Plaza.
But,
which is a Westin.
Whether you're going to a convention such as Dragon Con or, even football season coming up, college football, and people with their RVs, they're all over the place. I know right here in Atlanta, we've got the brand new Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which I know is going to be a host to a lot of different games. There are some parking lots that are in that vicinity down there that is going to be filled up with RVs and football fans and what have you. Yeah, and that's the way they travel.
They have the SEC versus ACC kickoff the same weekend as Dragon Con. They've kind of pushed them further away, But back when it first started, there was a bunch of football fans that would be intermingling with them, and they got a real kick out of it. So
I used to work down there
yeah,
in Atlanta, and I haven't been back to the heart of the city, I don't think, any more than once or twice since I retired from law enforcement back in 05. Where I work at now, I just go
You're a
there and I
Midtown
hit
guy.
I'm a Midtown guy, and at the end of my shift, I'm 2 streets down from the interstate, and I'm heading north.
Right.
Okay, so I don't get into that mess, and I know there's a lot of different things have changed in Metro Atlanta. Roads and detours and what have you,
And scooters.
buildings.
You seen these scooters, Skip?
And scooters.
Yeah, they've got. Well, you work at night, but they have these things in Atlanta. They probably have them
Oh,
in other
yes,
cities.
yes.
The
I've
bird
seen those.
scooters
Oh,
and the
my
lime scooters.
heavens.
Some of these people are going crazy with them.
And I'm sure some people have them attached to their RV, so when they get to their campsite, they just get on a scooter and take off.
There you go.
But I'm telling you what, folks riding those things in the city, someone's going to get hurt very badly
Yeah,
if they
that's
haven't
what they
already.
say.
Yeah. But, hey, I hope you have a great time, and I
Thank
want
you.
a full report when you get back.
Definitely.
So, again, you can get in touch with us here at Happy Camper Radio by calling 404-537-2267. Would love to hear from you. Daniel, today I want to talk a little bit, while we still have some time, about bugs, insects, ticks, the things we do not want to be around
right.
when we're camping. I talked about ants at the picnic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they come around just like the last get-together we had here on the back patio. Fortunately, we had a nice day,
Right.
and that was Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
But, rain was in the forecast, so we just kind of, kept close to home at
Yeah.
that particular time. And that's pretty much the way it's been all summer long. This rain is just driving us absolutely out of our mind. But as you recall, we had great food out on the patio, and we had a problem with flies.
Oh goodness.
Yes.
We always have a problem with flies.
Yeah, if it's not the ants, it's going to be the flies. But
Mm-hmm.
they're tolerable to a certain extent. But when you start having bugs become a part of your camping life, and they start biting and they start spreading disease, then we've got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think it's important for everybody. I don't care where you go camping. It's a public campground, private campground, or especially if you're out in the wilderness somewhere where you're going to be in more contact with bugs than ever before. You're definitely going to want to carry some repellent with you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any particular brand of repellent that has worked for you over the years?
Off works pretty good. But the problem with bug spray, if you're going to be outside and it's really hot, you sweat it. You sweat it off kind of quickly. So I know they have things that you can attach to your belt loop, and it's kind of like it makes you like you're a bubble, and it's supposed to protect you from mosquitoes and stuff. I don't know. I've never used it before, but I've heard that that's supposed to be working, because I know when you spray it on, I mean, if it's not too hot, it'll be fine. But once you start sweating, it starts coming off, and the mosquitoes start coming back. But it works pretty good, if you're not out there too long.
Well, you've seen my camp supply down at Studio B.
Uh-huh.
All right, it's off to the side there, and it's always ready to go anytime I am. But I have been known to carry 2 and 3 of everything.
There you go.
And that includes the bug spray.
Right.
I don't care what time of the year it is. I definitely want to have that insect repellent available to me, because I do not want to go to bed at night scratching and itching and just all it takes is for you to go unprepared for something, and it's going to ruin your whole weekend.
Well, they also say if you eat garlic, that helps with the mosquitoes. I don't know how true that is.
Are you
but
serious?
yeah, if you eat a lot of garlic, they're not too fond of that. But I just don't know how much you eat. I'm sure you could look it up, but I heard that's a way to get rid of them too.
Okay, well,
They're
I mean,
vampires.
If you
they are
say so.
bloodsuckers. See, that's why vampires don't like garlic, because mosquitoes are like vampires and they don't like garlic, though.
We're talking
Maybe that's where
about
it
some
got
of
from.
those disgusting insects like mosquitoes, ticks, and some flies. These insects can spread disease, and many of which can be prevented or treated with a vaccine or medicine. And if you want to go ahead and reduce your risk, you definitely want to use some sort of repellent. Now, the use of EPA-registered insect repellents that contain at least 20% DEET, and those products include cutter backwoods and off and deep woods. These are the greatest protection you have against mosquitoes, ticks, and other bugs. Have you ever been bitten by a tick before, Daniel?
Yeah, I was about to talk about that. I know our good friend Gary, when he hiked the Appalachian Trail, he checked for ticks every night, but he also ended up with Lyme disease, and that'll put you out of commission for a while. But ticks are terrible. I mean, you got to check in every nook and cranny of your body because they like to hide in the crevices, and you won't notice it for a while, and then there it is. And if it's not blown up, I think it's okay. But if it's got a little bit on you, you might want to go get checked out and make sure that you don't have Lyme disease, because that is really bad. You just basically, when you go out in the woods at night, you need to check yourself. Maybe have someone else check you if you can't see your back or whatever, because they'll hide somewhere.
I have never been bitten by a tick, knock on wood, in all my years. I've had plenty of mosquito bites. I've had to deal with flies. I had to deal with ants, red ants. Yeah, I mean, I've had to deal with that. But, hey, I'll tell you, I've never had a problem with a tick. And a couple of years ago, one of our pets, in fact, it was one of your pets at one time, too, you went ahead and passed it off to somebody here in the household.
Right.
She loved you for that.
Right.
He got bit by a tick right out in our backyard here, and we had to take him up to the vet, and that was not an easy task for the veterinarian to get that tick off of his body.
Yeah, I always heard you have to burn them, because I know sometimes their head will be lodged into you, and you might think you got them off when you pull them off, but that head might still be on there, and it can still do some nasty business.
Okay, now, as disgusting as that sounds, I hope we've encouraged each
lunch?
and every one of our listeners to go out and buy the necessary insect repellent that you need. Back in the day, Mom, when God rest her soul in heaven, she used to use this product by Avon called Skin So Soft.
Oh, yeah, we use that.
All right, and supposedly that keeps the bugs off you as well.
Yeah, there's that, and we always lit citronella candles when we'd be outside and barbecuing or something. I think that helped a lot too.
I'm still not totally sold on citronella fuel.
Oh,
okay.
you gave me those torches.
I don't believe that if that I knew for sure was going to keep the bugs away, Daniel, I would have cases of that lying around, okay,
right.
and take cases of it to camp. But
smells good.
Yeah. Well, you know where the bugs really bother me at?
Where's that?
They love to get my ankles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, even when I've got socks on.
Oh, yeah, right.
You've got to spray in, and you definitely want to cover your arms and, maybe around your neck and everything, but you got to be very careful. You don't want to be inhaling that.
That's pretty nasty.
Yeah, it's pretty bad stuff. But even when you've got socks on and shoes on, those little devils, they love to go ahead and attack your ankles.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go ahead and get my bug spray and spray down, I always make sure that I hit my ankles and my feet.
Well, I know now they have these, exterminator services that, they say that they can treat your backyard for mosquitoes. I've never had it done. I'm sure you've probably never had it done, but I wonder how that works. I wonder what the intricacies of that is. So if there's anyone in our audience who maybe is an exterminator, I mean, that'd be awesome to hear from you to, tell us how all that stuff works. And, you know more about bugs than we do, but we just know about our experiences and what works for us. But, I think that's pretty cool to have them treat your backyard so you don't have to worry about mosquitoes like in the summertime and stuff.
Well, Daniel, next time you go camping, if you decide to go ahead and hire an exterminator to come treat your campsite
there you go.
You've rented, let me know. Let me know how that goes, and definitely take
That'd
some
be
pictures,
pretty cool, yeah. I wonder if that's possible. That'd be interesting, because I know we have some listeners out there who are, campground owners, and if they got their whole campground treated for mosquitoes, oh my gosh, that'd be a haven. That'd be great.
Sure.
I'd put that on the brochure. Mosquito free.
But I'll tell you, Daniel, like I said, I always make sure that I've got plenty of insect repellent with me. Now, what I have been sold on over the years, that something that has worked very well for me, is a product called Sportsman's Repel. Okay. And it works. It has done wonders for me, and you can get that at your local Walmart store.
I've never tried that.
It's only a couple bucks, and and buy 2 or 3.
Okay.
You're not going to use one can for the whole trip, but it's important that you have some an extra supply with you. Mm-hmm. And this way, you never run out. You never have to worry about running out to the store while you're camping because you forgot this and you forgot that. It's going to be there at all times. And it's something to consider, especially this time of year when the weather is still hot, the bugs are still out, and you just need to protect yourself and protect your kids. So, keep that in mind, folks, and also consider your clothing and your gear, such as boots, pants, socks, and tents that are treated as well. If you're going to go ahead and spray around the tent, you can go ahead and do that. I can't guarantee that the bugs aren't going to work their way in. But this stuff does not smell pretty to them, and they're probably going to move on if you've got some insect repellent you've sprayed upon yourself. So, and definitely cover your exposed skin if at all possible. I know a lot of folks don't like to wear long pants, especially when the temperatures are like 80, 90 degrees outside. I do. I don't feel comfortable, but I feel less comfortable showing my legs off at camp. So, yeah.
I always wear, they if anyone goes to like REI or something, they sell the hiking pants and the hiking shirts that are very, very lightweight and mesh, and they look heavy, but they're very thin and very breathable. So I know that helps, because you're right. I mean, if you have any kind of exposed body part, that's what they're going to go for.
Here's something that the CDC mentioned. I'm actually looking at their website right now. You want to go ahead and wear long sleeve shirts, long pants, socks, and a hat, if at all possible. You want to tuck your shirt into your pants and tuck your pants into your socks for maximum protection.
They also have these things called gaiters. They basically do the same thing. They fit over your shoe, and a lot of hikers use them because they get stuff into their shoe and stuff. So I think that would probably work too if you don't want to look like a nerd by tucking your pants into your socks. But yeah, any exposed part of your body is going to be a food for them.
Well, I mean, you're camping, Daniel.
Yeah.
You're relaxed. You really don't think too much, and you really don't care too much what the neighbors think about how you dress.
Yeah.
All right?
Well, another thing about the whole hat thing is that's where that's the number one place where you're probably going to get a tick is in your hair. Because if you're walking around the woods, hiking or maybe getting firewood or stuff, maybe it'd be smart to, get a hat or something. It doesn't have to be a hiking hat. It could just be a regular baseball hat or something. But that's one of the first places. And you don't really feel it until, you're shampooing your hair in the shower. Then all of a sudden, oh, what's this lump? Oh, that's a tick. And, depending on how much he's got his hooks in on you, literally his hooks in on you, I mean, it could be not so good.
I can totally understand that. But, I do the best I can when I get out there. And I've, again, knock on wood, I haven't been bit by a tick. Don't plan on being bit by a tick.
There you go.
If I can make it through this lifetime without being bit by a tick, I'm going to be doing all right.
You made it this far. I'm surprised because they've latched on. They haven't blown up. They've latched on, and I've seen them like walking around and kind of freak me out. But I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, I haven't had too many problems. I mean, I had a when I did get bit, kind of, I took it off and it started swelling up, and it was just really itchy and kind of painful for a while. But I mean, eventually it went away. It was there for about a month or so, and I was getting kind of worried about it, but it finally went away.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But, hey, we've still got a few more good weeks ahead of us.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully, the weather will at least give us a break where we can get out and do some stuff.
Yeah, I'll be...
you and your camper and me and my tent.
Yeah, we'll be going out to the Foothills Trail to continue my my section hike of the Foothills Trail with Gary and his wife, so that'll be fun. We'll definitely, that's what I told Deidre the other day when we went hiking. I said, we are definitely bringing some bug spray if we're going out in the woods to camp overnight, because I can't deal with all this biting.
Yeah, and of course, we're talking about Gary Sizer, the Green Giant, as he was called on the Appalachian Trail. And, hey, if there's a guy that knows the outdoors better than anybody, I'd like to meet him. Gary knows his stuff.
Yep.
And it's always great having him on the show, too. And, if you haven't picked up one of Gary's books, the one he recorded here in the studio, what was that called, Daniel?
It was called Where's the Next Shelter?
Or The Next Shelter. Yeah, okay. And if you want, you can pick that up on Amazon or, in just about anywhere online. Just go ahead and put Gary Sizer and where's the next shelter, and you'll find it there. It's a great book to read, and if you enjoy reading, you might want to catch the audiobook, which was recorded right here in the studios of Happy Camper Radio. It's time now for our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Happy Camper Radio.
And this week, we're taking you out to the state of South Dakota to Comanche Park. It's part of Black Hills National Forest, run by the U.S. Forestry Service. This is a wonderful campground, and it's only open until September 3rd, so if you're planning on heading out anytime soon, this will be a great opportunity to do so. If not, the accommodations here are so wonderful, you may want to consider your camping opportunities in 2019. Situated in open Ponderosa Pine Forest, 6.5 miles from Custer, South Dakota, Comanche Park Campground is a nice setting for visitors seeking recreation and relaxation in the Black Hills National Forest. Located in western South Dakota and northeastern Wyoming, Black Hills National Forest encompasses nearly 1.25 million acres of rugged rock formations, canyons, and gulches, open grassland parks, tumbling streams, deep blue lakes, and unique caves. Nearby Jewel Cave is the second longest cave in the world at 159.29 miles. It features sparkling calcite crystals and other rare formations, as well as some of the largest concentration of passageways in the world. Wildlife in the area abounds. Bighorn sheep navigate mountainous terrain, while elk, deer, and pronghorn gather in forest and prairies. Bald eagles, hawks, osprey, and hundreds of other bird species can be found in the forest, especially along streams, lakes, and rivers. The forest offers highly accessible recreation for all ages. Visitors can take advantage of opportunities for hiking, fishing, horseback riding, mountain biking, and riding off-highway vehicles on moderate terrain. The Comanche Park Campground offers sites available to accommodate tents and RVs. The campground is equipped with picnic tables, campfire rings, vault toilets, and drinking water. However, electrical hookups are not available. You want to keep that in mind before you make your reservations, especially if you're bringing an RV or a motorhome. Possible day trips include the Jewel Cave National Monument, Mount Rushmore National Memorial, Custer State Park, Crazy Horse Monument, and Wind Cave National Park. Take a look at their activities and amenities right there on their website. Also remember, don't move firewood. Prevent the forest from those tree-killing pests by purchasing your firewood locally and burning it on site. For more information, visit don'tmovefirewood.org or click on the link you'll find at happycamperradio.com. This is a wonderful camping destination if you're looking to get out into the state of South Dakota. Think about it. For 2019, it's part of the Black Hills National Forest. It's Comanche Park in South Dakota. It is our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Skip Huber. HappyCamperRadio.com.
And if you have a campground you would like for us to feature on the program, get in touch with me, Skip, S-K-I-P, at HappyCamperRadio.com. Be sure to include a link to the campground website. And Daniel, that's going to wrap up today's edition of the Happy Camper Radio Show. When you go down to Dragon Con, I'm sure you're not going to have to spray down for insects or bugs or anything like that. But
No, we'll be inside most of the time.
Hey, what are you going to be dressed up as this year?
We're going as Bill and Ted from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Share some pictures, please.
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Remember, friends, every pet deserves a loving home. Do exactly like I did. Visit your local shelter and adopt a pet today. You can find us online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Camp Talker. Add us to circles on Google+, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. And you hang around with Daniel and I long enough, we'll do our best to make a happy camper out of you. Talk to you again soon. You're listening to Happy Camper Radio.
Happy